Cowboys Nation, the Dallas Cowboys are pushing hard to build a championship-caliber team. Every move this offseason shows one clear message. This team is all in on getting better, competing harder, and silencing the doubters. And if you're just as hyped about what's coming as we are, smash that like button right now to support the channel. It really helps more Cowboys fans like you find this content. Now, let's get into the drama. Because, oh boy, there's a lot to unpack. We've got George Pickens throwing shade at the Steelers, again, after the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade. And we've got serious contract tension looming with Micah Parsons. Two big stories, one clear message. The Cowboys are on a mission, and they better keep things tight if they want to make it count in 2025. Let's start with the newest playmaker in Big D, wide receiver George Pickens. If you thought the Cowboys were just going to quietly reload their offense this year, think again. Dallas pulled off one of the most buzzed-about trades of the offseason by acquiring Pickens and a 2027 sixth-round pick from the Pittsburgh Steelers, sending over a 2026 third-round and a 2027 fifth-round in return. This wasn't just a depth move. This was a statement. Pairing Pickens with CeeDee Lamb gives Dallas one of the most dangerous receiver tandems in the entire league. Two explosive playmakers. Two alpha personalities. And yes, two guys with something to prove. Pickens, however, hasn't exactly left Pittsburgh quietly. When the Steelers recently shipped out All-Pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Miami Dolphins. In exchange for veteran corner Jalen Ramsey, Pickens couldn't help himself. He fired off an Instagram story tagging Fitzpatrick with the caption, "Super happy for you, broski. Back to beautiful places in life, lol, oof." That lol says everything. It wasn't the first time Pickens has hinted, or flat out said, that his time in Pittsburgh was anything but enjoyable. Remember Mother's Day? A tweet from Pickens' account surfaced calling the Steelers the cheapest organization. It even mentioned that he requested a trade, a claim he later walked back, saying the screenshots were AI-generated. But let's be real here, Cowboys fans. Smoke doesn't show up without a little fire. Now, you might be wondering, should we be worried about this guy? Is George Pickens going to bring drama into our locker room? Here's the thing. Pickens is in a contract year. He wants a massive payday. That means he has to show up, stay focused, and prove to the league and the Cowboys that he's not just a talented receiver, but a dependable one too. And from everything we've seen so far in Dallas, the vibe is locked in. Pickens has been working out with Dak, building chemistry with Lamb, and staying laser-focused on football. If this version of George Pickens stays consistent, and if Mike McCarthy's staff can keep him dialed in, this trade could be an absolute steal. And even if it doesn't work out, it's a one-year rental. Worst case, the Cowboys let him walk and collect a compensatory pick in 2026. But let's be honest. We're not here for picks. We want wins. Now let's talk about a different kind of drama. A situation that should be keeping Cowboys brass up at night. Micah Parsons. The heart of this defense. The face of the franchise. The guy no one wants to see in a different uniform. Ever. But here's the reality. Micah Parsons is eligible for a new contract. And so far? Crickets from the front office. He's set to hit free agency in March. Tick-tock, Jerry. Tick-tock. And if you want to know why that's a dangerous game, look no further than, you guessed it, Pittsburgh. Steelers star T.J. Watt, the 2021 Defensive Player of the Year, is not happy with his contract situation. In fact, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, multiple teams are seriously considering trying to trade for Watt because the situation in Pittsburgh has gotten that tense. Now let's get one thing clear. Pittsburgh probably won't trade Watt. But just the idea that it's being talked about shows how messy things can get when a superstar doesn't feel respected or valued. And if it can happen with Watt, it can definitely happen with Parsons. Let's talk about the numbers. Micah Parsons has racked up 52.5 sacks in just 4 NFL seasons. He's been a Pro Bowler every single year. He's a walking nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. And at just 25 years old, he might not have even reached his prime yet. There's no way around it. Parsons is the most valuable player on the Dallas Cowboys roster. Period. And while the Cowboys have done a good job locking up guys like Dak, CeeDee, and Trevon Diggs in the past, this one cannot get dragged out. You cannot play games with Micah Parsons. Not in this NFL, not with that level of production. Not with this window for contention. This is not the time for another Ezekiel Elliott-type saga. Get the deal done. Set the market if you have to. Because if Parsons even starts thinking about playing somewhere else in 2026, we've got a whole new problem. So, Cowboys fans, here's where we stand. We just added a potential superstar in George Pickens, who's already making headlines and ready for a fresh start. If he channels his energy the right way, we might be looking at one of the most electric offenses in the league. But at the same time, we're walking a tightrope with Micah Parsons. And if Dallas doesn't act fast and smart, we could be risking the future of our defense. This is a high-risk, high-reward kind of offseason. But honestly, that's exactly what championship windows look like. You've got to take chances. You've got to lock up your stars. And most importantly, you've got to finish the job. While the Cowboys have been aggressive this offseason and have made headlines across the league, there's one area that remains a serious question mark heading into training camp. The interior. Defensive line. Yep, it's still a problem. Despite all the moves Jerry Jones and company made to retool the roster, the middle of that defensive front continues to raise eyebrows. And not in a good way. This unit struggled last season against the run, and unless someone steps up in a big way this summer, we could be looking at a repeat problem that could derail the Cowboys season before it even takes off. Let's break it down. The Cowboys are moving forward with a core of Mozzie Smith, Solomon Thomas, and Osa Odigizua at the heart of the D-line. Now, don't get it twisted. Osa is a legit baller. He's quietly one of the most effective interior defenders in the entire league. He's explosive, smart, and constantly disruptive. You can count on him every Sunday. But after Osa, things get real murky, real fast. Let's talk about Mozzie Smith. Last year's first-round pick came into the league with massive expectations. He was supposed to be the run-stuffing presence this team desperately needed. But so far, he hasn't delivered. Between health concerns, inconsistency, and adjustment issues, Mozzie hasn't yet proven he's the answer in the trenches. And now, it's do-or-die time. 2025 is his make-or-break season. There's no more runway, no more rookie learning curve. Mozzie Smith has to show up in camp ready to dominate, or he risks falling behind for good. Then there's Solomon Thomas, the former number 3 overall pick, who comes in with veteran experience and familiarity with new defensive line coach Aaron Whitecotton. Thomas has bounced around the league, and while he's flashed potential at times, he's never fully lived up to his draft status. Still, his leadership and experience could be valuable in a room that desperately needs stability. At the very least, he's a proven rotational piece. But expecting Thomas to fix the run defense by himself? That's a stretch. The last piece of the puzzle is rookie Jay Toya, a 7th-round pick out of UCLA who has turned some heads during OTAs and minicamp. The early signs are positive. Toya has shown great strength and solid footwork, and the coaching staff seems intrigued by his upside. But let's keep things real. Betting on a 7th-rounder to make a major impact right away isn't the safest play. If Toya pops, it's a bonus, not a solution. So it's no surprise that national analysts are sounding the alarm. In a recent piece for Bleacher Report, NFL analyst Alex Valentine listed the interior defensive line as the Cowboys' biggest in need ahead of training camp. And honestly, He's not wrong. Ballantyne pointed out what every Cowboys fan knows deep down. If this team can't stop the run, it won't matter how good the offense is. It won't matter how well Dak is playing. It won't matter if George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are lighting up secondaries. It won't even matter if Micah Parsons is wreaking havoc on the edge. If the Cowboys get gashed up the middle every week, like they did against Arizona and Buffalo last season, we're in trouble. Think about what's coming in 2025. The Eagles, Giants, and Commanders have all made moves to beef up their run games. You've got offenses like the 49ers, Dolphins, and Lions on the schedule, teams that love to run between the tackles. If this defensive line doesn't improve fast, it won't just cost Dallas games. It'll crush their chances in the NFC. And let's not forget, Dan Quinn is gone. There's a new voice leading this defense, a new system being installed, and that means a new standard needs to be set, especially up front, and it all comes back to Mazi Smith. If he can take the leap this season, everything changes. His power, size, and athleticism are rare, but he's got to turn potential into production. The Cowboys need a mauler in the middle, a guy who clogs lanes, eats blocks, and allows guys like Parsons and DeMarvion Overshown to fly around and make plays. If Mazi can't step up, this defense could get exposed quickly. Now I want to hear from you, Cowboys Nation. Do you think George Pickens will be a game-changer in Dallas? And how concerned are you about the Micah Parsons contract situation? Do you think the front office is moving fast enough? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be replying to as many as I can. And hey, if you love this kind of Cowboys content and want to stay on top of every insider story, every trade update, every move that matters, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. This is your home for everything Dallas Cowboys. Let's ride this season together, and let's chase greatness. I'll see you in the next one. Go Cowboys!